Hi there, Diecast fans. Check this out. It's a 1:24 scale. I'm sorry. It's a 1:27 scale 2003 Hummer H2 sports utility vehicle from Maisto. Now digging up some old relics on the old cabinet, and I come across this Hummer H2 that I bought, as far as I can remember, back in 2009. So, what's inside anyways? Well, like I said before, this is a 1:27 scale. It's quite unusual for Maisto to make a 1:27 scale diecast models because more of them is in a 1:24 scale. So, I think the answer to that is this. Of course, everybody knows when it comes to Hummer H2, it's going to be ginormous. So making it in a 1:24 scale, thus making it quite a big vehicle. So it won't fit on the ordinary 1:24 scale box by Maisto. That's why they shrunk this into a 1:27 scale. I believe they also had a 1:18 scale of this, colored in gray, in yellow, and the rare ones, they also got the SUT, the pickup version of the Hummer H2. That's quite very nice when I saw it. I never owned one. I only had one of these. But man, just look at that. Just look at the blue color and the proportion of this diecast. When I say this is quite big on the box, even the antenna that they had, so you could see here, was removed for the packaging because even the 1:27 scale of the Hummer H2 is still quite big. So, what do you get from a 1:27 scale Hummer H2 from Maisto? But first, a little bit history about this car. This is the successor for the Hummer H1, a civilian use or for ordinary people use Humvee, which is used for the military. And then back in the early 2000s, they released the H2, its successor. Even though this is a large sports ute, it can only seat about 5 adult persons. I think this is based on the Chevrolet Tahoe. So, yeah, it's just a ginormous 5-seater sports ute. I think Maisto made an amazing job of miniaturization of this Hummer H2. Starting on the front, let's see there. So there's the obvious, very shiny Hummer grille, as you can see there. And also the headlamps or the headlights, beautifully crafted by Maisto. Well, there's still a peg on it if you take a very close look right there. But it's not that obvious, you can see there. I think there's supposed to be a fog lamps here. I don't know. But it's just one big gray plastic, a separate piece at least. It's really not part of the entire body. You could see also the signal lamps colored in shiny yellow paint on it. Unfortunately, there's no engine detailing for this diecast since this is a 1:27 scale budget diecast model. But you could still have this iconic air vents, I think, for the engine. I know this is a V8 powered engine with no turbos on it. I think this is only for the cosmetics since the Hummer H1 had one of these vents. There's also no grab handles. This is just a part of the entire hood and they just painted it in semi-gloss black color on it. So I could see there also some, as part of the hood, I think this is the latch to lock the hood since you can open this like that. Open it on the front. They also included separate wipers for the windshield. And you could see also the flarings, the fender flarings, which is part of the entire diecast shell. Oh, I almost forgot. Every Hummer H2 has to have a bull bar. Now I think this is the crowning jewel of this entire diecast will be the wheels. Just look at those wheels. Well, there's no brakes present nor suspension. Yep, This is just, it rides just like that, as you can see here. But overall look of these wheels and tires, the profile and the size of the rims looks exactly proportioned to the entire diecast vehicle. Now, the Maisto also included a steering mechanism for this, just a simple plastic parts on it. But you cannot steer it on the inside, just from the outside, as you can see here. But the overall look of this diecast with that kind of wheel, just look at it. It really looks like a proper Hummer H2. Now for the rear, fortunately you cannot open the tailgate since again this is a budget model. As you can see here, let's try to zoom in for more detail. So they included the 3 colors for the brake light system. The brake light, the signal lights, and the reverse light, both sides. A separate, looks like a brush guard or an aftermarket, but this is actually the stock bumper for the Hummer H2 with some Hummer writing on it right there. And you could also see the plate number garnish. This is just a painted black part of it. This is not a separate piece. You could see also this plastic grill looking on the rear that you commonly see on the Hummer H2, and some more brake lights or markers, I think. You could see there on the roof, on the middle of the tailgate, and 3 more in the tailgate. And if you could see here, some additional, I think, accessory hooks, pintle hooks, whatever. So you could see here. The Maisto also included those. No opening hood, no opening tailgate right here. So, but at least Maisto included 2 opening front doors. So at least you could appreciate the inside of this diecast. So if we go inside, if the light is being on our side, so I could see there some painted dashboard parts. So we try to zoom in for a little while. You could see there. You could see the aircon louvers painted in black with some silver paintings on the dashboards. Yes, this is the pinnacle for the gauge cluster right here, and the steering wheel, of course. Unfortunately, it didn't got like the thruster gear lever that you commonly see on the Hummer H2. It didn't got that. It's just a molded plastic parts right there in the middle of the center console. There's also an infotainment system. So let's move to the right side, and there's really nothing on it. There may be some painted parts on the buttons and something like that, but it's just composed of black colors on it, some gray colors on it. Since, hey, this is a budget model, so why push further for the detailing? This is called like an ash gray. It's a bit, have a stint of brown and some gray colors on it. It's quite nice, all those detailings for the seats and the bolstering, it's right there. Even in the cargo bay, you could see some gray colorings on it. Yes, it lacks some details when it comes to painting, but it's quite, still quite decent. I almost forgot some additional detailing that makes this Hummer H2. There is a side mirror, it's still obvious, but it's not as big as the real thing. If you compare it to the real thing. But anyways, it's still got those iconic side mirrors. And they also included this amber side markers right there, 5 of them on the corners and on the middle, just to show how wide the Hummer H2 is. Wow. And they didn't skip on the roof railing detailing onto this diecast. You could see there, you could remove this plastic part right here if you wanted to, and put some cargos, whatever, if you want to accessorize this diecast model. Even right here, even though this is just a small thing, you can see there the gas cap. It's just a painted black part on the entire diecast shell, but it's got, you know, those things. So you could appreciate this diecast even more. And the detailing doesn't stop there. So if we just take a closer look what's underneath this diecast, so you could see here the chassis and prop shaft and the gas tank and the I think this is the exhaust system is just a part of the entire chassis in one big plastic slab. They also included this Hummer H2 and some Maisto writings on it right there and their website. Now, if you take a closer look on the side, there's supposed to be right there a rock slider. So this is for the serious 4x4s in my opinion. And they didn't skip on those things. Again, so you could see there, it's molded in the entire plastic slab. The under chassis, what I mean. So those things, little things that needs to be, you know, that no one even bothers to look at. But it's there if you compare it to the real thing. Now, for our viewers who likes four-wheel drive, sports suits, or big American sports utility vehicle, four-wheel drives like that, or just loves Hummer H1 or Hummer H2, the 1/27 scale from Maisto is really not a bad choice. I think there are some who still makes a 1/24 scale. I don't know which brand it is, but I saw that, you know, a couple of years ago. And I also don't know if Maisto is still offering this diecast model into their catalogs. Well guys, thank you for watching again. I appreciate really if you make a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more just like this. And you know, just for a surprise, I got the H1 also. So guys, again, like I said before, thank you for watching and I hope this entertains you. And I'll be seeing you in some next video. Bye for now.